Mandala, welcome back. So today in the series on the principle of MAAT, we are going to talk about being trustful in your relationships. As we've seen, the principle of MAAT are all interconnected. One does not work on themselves in an isolated manner, but as you work on one principle, other facets of who you are grow as well. Here it is another invitation from MAAT for you to be and remain trustful in your relationships. So I know this is a little bit of a controversial approach. Some of you may right away say how you've been duped and lied to and cheated and taken advantage of, etc., etc. But this is not about that. This is not about what happened to you before you start implementing MAAT in a conscious way. Before you chose to apply the MAAT and follow it. What happened to you before may have been sad, may have been hard. But beloved, it has nothing to do with what I'm about to share with you today. The principle we're talking about today is about a state of mind where you trust the relationship that you've built, that you're able to place the trust in others, and especially others who trust you as well. So you see, it is not a matter of just trusting anyone just for the sake of it. It also pushes you to assess and return the trust that's being placed upon you. For example, MAAT always requires you to use your discernment. So it's not a matter of you acting foolishly, it's also a matter of you being aware and being discerning on who you place that trust upon. And of course, there are many levels to this. There is a collective trust that we have with each other. And to put this in a concrete way, because this series on the MAAT is not for you to go and just daydream about a theoretical or utopian state of being, but rather for you to see it in a practical application in your day-to-day life. African spirituality is not read and reread, it is living. It is a living spirit. Those are things that you need to put in place daily. This is why it is challenging, but this is also why it is so rewarding. When you start implementing those principles in your daily life and you start seeing all of those changes and the ripple effect that it has on the people around you, whether it is for some of them to move away and make room for new people, the only way for you to find out is to implement this principle and to persevere in the application and to have the resilience that is needed in order to walk the path with MAAT. And so when we talk about a collective trust in each other, this is something that already exists. Too often people will tell me, well, in my neighborhood, people are very rude, they are not caring, I cannot implement MAAT in this way, there is no collective trust. Oh, okay. Stop looking at the negativity. I will show you now the collective trust that exists in every community, that exists in every society and every civilization. Because this collective trust goes beyond the individual, and it oftentimes goes beyond what you usually see and what you are usually captivated by. Most people are captivated by negativity. They are quicker to jump on something that's negative rather than applaud or support something that's positive. This is why you often get more negative comments to customer service rather than somebody calling in to actually praise the service that they received even when they receive it. So one of the ways for you to expand your horizon in terms of realizing that there is a collective trust that's already in place, even if it is not given the proper recognition that it should receive. And this is what, as more people walk the path of MAAT or work those principles even outside of MAAT into their lives, we will see this collective trust restored. And it often starts at a small level, at the family level, the friendship level, the work, community, village level, and for some places at the national level, and hopefully at some point at the global level. One of the basic examples of this collective trust is when you get on the road and you get in your car. You have the trust. You don't get in your car thinking that you're going to get into an accident, that somebody is going to run into you or run a light. You get in your car trusting that people will do their best to conform to the rules of driving. So you have a subconscious trust that's present, and this trust enables you to get into your car and to go about your business. The same, when you go to a restaurant, you have a collective trust that the food will be prepared properly, and you don't immediately think that somebody is going to put something bad in your food. This is even more so now that you're confined at home. Many of you are ordering in to support local businesses, and you have that collective trust that the food that they're going to deliver you, they will have prepared them properly. And sometimes, even beyond properly, you may even be able to taste the positive and loving energy that was being put into the preparation of your food. So you see, beloved, there is a level of collective trust that's already existent. And sometimes it is a matter for you to remind yourself of that before you start thinking that the world is just a jungle where the most powerful step on the little guy. Also remember that every single person or entity in the biodiversity has its place. I often take the example that even the predators don't go ahead and kill all of their prey because they know they need them to survive. So a predator can even become a protector to ensure that the predator on his territory are remaining alive. He kills to eat and not for his pleasure. So beloved, there is a level of trust that's already residual that we see everywhere. You look at an animal, when the monkey is jumping from one branch to another, it has that inner trust that the next branch is going to be able to carry him. And of course, this does not mean that because you trust that you're not going to make mistakes or that things are not going to turn wrong. That's something else. But the underlying trust that you have initially can be a powerful motivator. A child who trusts that their parents are going to come and pick them up after school is not going to be constantly worrying about being abandoned. And of course, if you have to build that trust, that means that trust can be broken. And when a trust is broken, it's important to note, is for you to learn. Broken trust is teaching you something. There may be something that you've missed. You may not have followed your discernment in that particular relationship. You may have ignored signs and even things that your intuition has been telling you. And the trust is broken so that you can learn from that particular relationship, learn from that particular experience, so that you can be make better choices and take more better informed decisions. But it is expected of you that you be trustful in your relationships. And the first relationship that MAAT is referring to is your relationship with the divine. That you are trustful that the divine placed you here today at this time. Because he knows that no matter what you will go through, you can pull it off. If you want to, you can pull it off. And it is that inner trust that should fuel you, fuel your action, to know that you need not give up on your life, and need not give up on others or humanity. And the beauty of this series on the MAAT is that oftentimes you will see others who are on the same path as you are, seeking to better themselves. Oftentimes people think that this world is just a really dark place, but it will be a dark place if you could keep seeking that negativity. But if you turn your attention to look at the goodness of it, to seek other people who are actively working on themselves, trying to better themselves, soon you will see that more and more of them will cross your path. Likes attract likes. Of course, it also attracts other things, but the more you focus on what it really matters to you, and the more that is what you will see. If you focus on negativity, it is negativity you will find. And it will just justify you going in deeper, and that will be a vicious cycle. But if you focus on the trust that already exists, that you can contribute to, that means give, but also receive. And so it is not a matter of you trusting people blindly and then crying wolf and saying that you've been cheated and taken advantage of. It's for you to initially have what we say, giving people the benefits of the doubt. But learning and observing the person and seeing what kind of relationship you are building with that person. And for that to happen, it has to be a two-way. It cannot be all about you. You also have to observe how this person is treating you, how this person is interacting with you, and whether that person wants to build a trustful relationship with you or not. And you shouldn't be afraid to notice or to realize that someone does not want a trustful relationship with you. On the contrary, once you find that out, it should be a relief. It should be, okay, now that you know, you can let that person be on their way, and you can turn and concentrate on the other people who have been giving you love and trusting you and supporting you and nourishing them the best way you can. Too often, many people give and give to people who do not care, people who do not even want that attention. And then they turn around and they start crying and blaming everybody and saying the entire world is like that. Because they refuse to learn the lesson that, yes, there are people who will be untrustful, but your discernment will help you through that, because the truth is never hidden from you. This is why you can feel quite awkward when somebody that you don't trust, who doesn't trust you, is asking you for things, and that you feel some type of way giving them something or doing something for them. This is why it is important for you to really and truly pay attention and be discerning. Trustful relationships are at the foundation of building a family, of building a village, or building any relationships that you will want to last. When a child is born, he or she is trustful that his parents are going to be caring and nurturing to him. When you have your child within your womb and he or she is growing and kicking and turning inside of you, you are trustful that this child will be a vehicle for you to pour even more love into this world. You're trustful of the way you will feel once the baby is there. You're trustful in your ability to be a mother or a father, a parent, a sister, an aunt. And as you build that relationship, you infuse trust within that relationship, and you do it with discernment. This is why you will know if somebody is not being truthful to you, if somebody's trying to take advantage of you or is lying to you. It doesn't mean that you continue to be trustful to them, because that will make you a fool. So if you see that the person is being disrespectful or not trustworthy, it's by using your discernment that you will know that the love that you're pouring, the things that you're doing, may be better served by directing them to someone else, to preserve your own sanity, and to even sometimes preserve that relationship. And when you get mistrusted, it is a lesson for both of you and the person that caused the mistrust, for you to learn how to use your discernment, and for that other person to learn the consequences of not being trustworthy. So, when you think of relationships, instead of thinking of all of the negative things that may happen, etc., think about all of the beautiful things that can happen. Think about establishing a great foundation, but establishing it with somebody who's worth it. Establishing with someone else who's already also on the same path and the same vibration that resonates with you. When you say you love this person, you should know why you love them. Not just the feeling that you feel, but also how they treat you. You love them because you can count on them, because they respect you, because of the way they speak to you, because of the things they do, because how they are there for you when you need them. All of those things, not just because you feel something. Those feelings are normally supposed to be a manifestation of something deeper that comes from your observation, or that comes from your soul knowledge of your soul. And so divine relationships are created with the trustworthiness that we can infuse in them. And the more trust we build, and the stronger the relationship becomes. When you can trust somebody with your innermost secrets, and you're not afraid that they will judge you, you're not afraid that they will leave you, you're not afraid that they may look at you differently. Even though you are aware that they may disagree, and that they may have a different perspective on how you should have dealt with certain things, or how you should behave in the future. When you have somebody that's trustworthy next to you, you know that you can accomplish anything with them, just because of the energy that they send back to you. When you come and you share your most inner thoughts and dreams and aspiration, and instead of laughing at you, they are able to see it, to see your vision, to accept your vision, and to even contribute to helping you getting there, to helping you manifest that vision that they can see and feel. And so you get to build trustful relationships when you yourself are a trustful and trustworthy person. It is always, what we receive is always linked to what we are willing to give. If you're not trustworthy and you are guarded, you cannot expect others to be willing to trust you. It has to go both ways. And oftentimes when you find yourself in a situation or relationship where there was a lack of trust, instead of just blaming the person and going over that and dealing with things you can't control, turn inwards and look and search for the places where you failed to be trustful, where you failed to be trustworthy, and addressing and changing those part of you will be a lot more beneficial to you than spending hours crying on spilled milk. And so once again, MAAT is for those who are willing to expand their heart, those who are willing to take a chance to love, no matter what the cost and the price is, those who are willing to live the life that they were meant to live, in harmony with nature, in harmony with themselves, inward and outward. And so I hope that you take this invitation of MAAT, of building around you and with you, that you are part of this solution of creating trustworthy relationships. Relationships that are strong, relationships that are wise, relationships that are rewarding, relationships that are motivating, that you can wake up next to this person and know that this is exactly where you are supposed to be, supporting and helping that person, and that person supporting and helping you. That you can call on your friend and know immediately that you were so lucky to have met the path of this person who has always been there and who is always so supportive, who always try to make you laugh when you're kind of sad, and who goes out of their way to make your experience here and now better. I hope you take the chance to become this trustworthy person, so that that little girl who looks at you knows what it is like to be trustworthy, so that her word is based on the security of seeing that she can count on you. She can count on her father for the protection and security that she needs. She can count on her mother and her sister for the love and the exultation and the ability to learn how to love and to express it freely, willingly, and to expand who she is into a beautiful woman, to expand who he is into a beautiful man. And so that together they can build the community that we've been waiting for. The community that will change everything because they were willing to change themselves.